I thought this was supposed to start at 7:30. Why hasn't this started?
Hi, you're welcome to. Can you hear me? Yeah, if you can you read the notes there, friend? We're giving everybody time to log on. You're welcome to leave if the time doesn't work for you. We're just waiting until 7:35, 7:40 to get started.
Very unprofessional.
That's my friend Stan. Don't listen to him. He's a time guardian. Yeah. I remember that, Stan, when I was on a hike. He said that to me. He's harmless.
All right. Well, again, hopefully some of y'all are nicer than Stan. This is a free class, and I hope y'all get something out of it. Again, we do this to make hiking and camping accessible for everyone, so thank you, Stan. Okay. We're just going to wait 2 more minutes. Give everybody a chance to log on.
The thing of it is, you train people to come late if you don't start on time.
Yeah, he says that. He's not a patient person.
All right.
But Justice, thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. All right, well, everybody, let's try to get the mood up. Somebody give Stan a hug if you're nearby, Stan. And there you go. All right. And we're just going to admit the rest of the people. Great. This is our first time that we're doing an online event. Our Connect and Hike is, so this is kind of fun. We had over 100 people sign up, so we actually had to splurge for Microsoft Teams Premium because Zoom theoretically wouldn't allow the 100+ people. So this is fun. Okay.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So first things first, this is our first time running this. This is basically our intro to AllTrails class. Really, I'd say AllTrails at the moment is the most robust free app out there for just amateur hikers. There's alternatives. There's Komoot. There's Gaia. All kinds of different things you can use. Our friends in Dallas have actually created an app called Outdoor Explorer. But personally, what you're getting from the free AllTrails app / the web version of AllTrails is quite robust. And the free version is actually quite robust. Really, the big difference between the free version and the paid version is just your ability to download the maps. So that's kind of the big kicker. Also, when you're searching for trails, bear with me here. I'll share my screen. Can you all see my screen all right?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So one thing you'll notice is that I'm using the premium version here. A premium feature is that, I'm based in Austin, Texas. I'm allowed to, because I pay the nominal fee for the pro version, I can just go and query trails that may be closer or just a further radius. Anyway. Okay, but if everyone could just take a minute, you don't have to verbally say it, but if you just want to write in the chat, just quickly where you're from while we start the class, try to build a little sense of community here in the background while I just kind of run through some things. If you want to walk along and go through the outline, you're welcome to. I've posted that in the little chat. Again, this is just a nice little class, get people comfortable with using AllTrails. I like the idea of everybody using something when they're out there. You just never know. I just got back from a section hike in Florida, and the bright orange blazes of the Florida Trail were not as commonplace as I would have liked. I easily could have been lost if I wasn't using a map or a mapping app. Okay, so first of all, Melissa, cute. Okay, perfect. So first of all, does everybody have AllTrails on their phone? Let's try to get that downloaded, or if you want to use the web version, just please go to alltrails.com. Okay. Yes, you can totally jump on the free version. I'm actually going to jump on AllTrails and I'll go along with y'all as if I don't have an account, just to make this a little bit more straightforward. So I'll log out. Try AllTrails for free. I'm not going to start the free trial. I'm just going to pretend as if I do not have AllTrails at all. So I'm just going to continue with Facebook. Make this easy. Continuous justice. Perfect. Okay, so here I am on AllTrails, theoretically the free version. Is anybody struggling to get logged in? Okay, wonderful. It's here. Okay. So once we're going to get into the app, you can set up a little profile. I think I've auto-populated some info from Facebook. So actually, I have used my Facebook before for AllTrails. So here we go. Basically, I just have a little info on myself here. My name, just an email, random email I'm using. So if you can put in your favorite activities, hook it into your Facebook, hook it into your Garmin, pick your units. I like to use metric sometimes. I'm Canadian, so I sometimes feel comfortable with that. I don't do any of the calorie counter stuff. I like to eat, but feel free to count that stuff if you want. Actually, this is connected to my AllTrails premium subscription, which is kind of interesting. But it should look all the same in terms of setting up an account. Okay. Is anybody struggling at all to get that set up, to get in there, set up a profile? Just raise your hand if you are.
Yeah. What is the, how do you sign on to it?
So you're just going to go to alltrails.com or download the app, and you're just going to make a free account. Don't feel the need to start a free trial for AllTrails Premium. That's unnecessary.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and everyone can still see my AllTrails screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
can see
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so let's see. We have a profile. It says for me, San Antonio, Texas. And I am based in Austin, but I go back and forth. So I have the app installed, create an account, set up a profile. Now we're just going to go through the main features of the app. And I'm also going to, this is actually new since I posted this outline, but there's recently been a big development, so we'll also jump on that. So we have the app, have our account. Now here it is. This is what AllTrails looks like when I open it up. Pretty straightforward. They're on satellite view. This is Austin, Texas. You can see all these different numbers. Those are just the numbers that correlate to the amount of logged hikes around the city. It's pretty straightforward. Over here on the left, it says curated trails. These are just some of the favorite trails that AllTrails has handpicked for Austin, Texas. Some of them are probably very familiar to y'all. So if you're just brand new to hiking and you want to jump into it, see the curated trails on the side. There's a little descriptor, easy, moderate, etc. Click into a trail, and this is what it's going to look like. So from brand new to hiking, I want to do an easy hike. I jump in here. I see Twin Falls and Sculpture Falls via Barton Creek. Barton Creek Greenbelt Trail. We're going to get a little length, an elevation gain, and a route type. So pretty straightforward. I know this may seem, this may be just redundant information for a lot of people, but when we're looking at a route type and out and back, it just means we're going to go out. Then at the end of the trail, we're going to turn around. We're going to come back to the start. Pretty straightforward. One thing I'll say is that this says this is a 3.2 mile hike. There's an average completion time. This is just in my own experience, having hosted, I don't know, I'd say about 100 plus, 1 to 150 plus free hikes, free group hikes. I'd say this average, I really don't take this into account much myself. That's just me, but I know a lot of people, they'll look at this average number, they'll put it on their calendar, maybe they'll add 10 minutes to it. They'll say, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour and 12 minutes. They'll put it on their calendar, and then they'll find out that AllTrails has severely overestimated this number or underestimated this number. So just when you're going to go plan your hike, personally, I like to look at the elevation gain. I like to look at the length, and I do my own calculation there based on my average hiking pace. Whatever that is for you, maybe it's 2.5 miles per hour, maybe it's 3.5 miles per hour, maybe it's 1 mile an hour. I'm not sure, but that's how I would get my number of how long this trail would take me. I personally wouldn't look at this average. Okay, so this is a pro feature. We're just going to go over here. We're going to preview the trail. So here we are. Everybody can still see AllTrails just fine?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. So here we are. This is our little preview. It's kind of neat. We can look at it from different angles, whatever you'd like to do. Keep playing it. Personally, I don't use this preview, the preview feature often. It's just not a use case. Personally, I don't find a use case for myself, but it is kind of neat to have. What I'm always looking at, though, whether I'm on the computer, usually the mobile, is this little slider at the bottom. And this is on the free version. I'm not sure if many people are aware of it, but this is just going to tell you the elevation gain and the elevation loss at differing parts of the trek. So here we are at the start of this Barton Creek Greenbelt Trail. Here's our elevation, 589 feet, 590, et cetera, et cetera. Here we have a bit of a drop of about 60 feet. This is going to happen just before 0.8 miles, so maybe that's 0.7 miles. And this just gives you an idea of what you're up against. So again, this is an out and back trail. So once we get to 0.7 miles, we have a bit of a drop. So if it's out and back, we know that we have to do that climb 0.7 miles from the end. So kind of neat. I mean, out and back trails are going to be mirrored. So here's our mirror point in here, somewhere just after 1.6 miles, pretty straightforward. But again, this is great. It might not be as necessary on something as simple as this hike, but when I'm in Yosemite, if I'm in, I don't know, Bryce National Park, Zion National Park, knowing that elevation is really going to be important for me when I'm planning out my route, especially if I've never done it before. That just gives me an idea of maybe how many snacks I need on me, or I don't know, how much how fast I should be going, how much water I should have, you know, just it helps me anticipate how much exertion will be needed at certain parts of the trek. So there we go. So this slider is huge on the mobile app, which I can't show you really well. I can really just show you the desktop well. But on the mobile app, you're just going to slide from the bottom. If you go into a trail, you'll slide up from the bottom and you'll be able to see this slider if you're following along. Okay. So other neat little features we have in here are just conditions. They're going to show you the weather. We're going to have reviews. This is a super popular trail in Austin, so we have reviews on February 8th. Pretty nice reviews. People say what they're trying to do, hike, mountain bike, etc. Always looking at this little descriptor. Obviously, somebody's experienced mountain biking the trail will be very different than somebody's experienced hiking it. So don't get caught up in that. Other things we can look at quickly are ground conditions. This is a premium feature. Mosquito activity. We can click in and see some photographs. Again, when you're looking at photographs, this is huge, especially with a trail like this. You look at these photos, you think, wow, I'm going to see just the most amazing rapids and waterfalls. But the truth is that we really don't know. This is from 8 hours ago, so we can anticipate there's some water there. But if you're not careful, you might click into a trail anticipating something like that and then be very disappointed when you show up and there's no running water. So just the images that are attached to some of the treks really may not reflect current conditions. Twin Falls was dry, Sculpture Falls was dry for about, I don't know, a good 8 months. Maybe somebody can correct me on that, but it was dry for some time. So if you were to look at the photos, the main photo of this listing, it's going to show some water, and that's going to be a bit deceptive. Okay, let's see. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Justice,
There's a-
Yes.
Go ahead.
this is Alan, and you're using the desktop version of this?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The phone is quite a bit different. I'm not sure how to get to. Oh, here we go. I just found photos. I just answered my own.
There you go. Yeah, the experiences are quite different. Obviously, when you're on trail, you're probably not,
You're not thinking about photos. Yeah.
you're probably not, using the web version. So it's definitely handy to get comfortable with the mobile version as well. Just for this, I'm using the web version because it was just easier to share my screen with everybody.
Yep.
Okay, so we're looking through here. We see our elevation gain. We see our photographs. We have some trail details here. A lot of different information. It's more than just, we can look in, okay, get to know this 3.2-mile hike. Dogs are welcome, but must be on a leash. Again, I can't stress this enough. 9 times out of 10, this is probably accurate, but the people writing this, they're not, City of Austin officials. They're not friends of the trail. They don't necessarily build, maintain, or patrol the trails. So, especially with dog information, please just do yourself a favor and just, Google the trail, try to find a website, try to, contact someone and really double check this information, because 9 times out of 10, AllTrails will be accurate, but you just never know. Things like this can change, and you don't want to end up with a citation or make anyone uncomfortable because maybe AllTrails said it was, dogs were allowed off leash, but they were not. Especially if you're driving 2 hours to go to some kind of state park and you didn't pack the dog leash because you thought they were allowed off leash. So just remember that the people writing these are, potentially just you or I. Just keep that in the back of your head. Don't take it for canon. So here's a bit of a description. There's nice variation in terrain along this route that travels near the riverbed. Here's just a couple anecdotes on the trail. Here, an interesting feature is activities. Again, this is just going to be somebody's recorded route. This could be another good indicator, potentially, how long it may take you. But I want to show you this because this is part of the reason I don't trust these averages at all. So this lady, she did this hike, and it looks like she just recorded 0.1 miles and it took her 2 minutes. So I'm guessing maybe she had an error. I doubt she just wanted to record 0.1 miles. Chances are, maybe she didn't click start or pause at the correct time. So things like this, AllTrails can't differentiate. So I believe this is in the data when they're coming up with these averages. Here's someone else who did the trail, but again, they did 1.1 miles. It took them 42 minutes. Afternoon hike. But again, you see it's a 3.2-mile hike, and they say it'll take an hour and 2 minutes. So again, just really, if you're trying to, with hiking in general, you're going to want to give yourself a lot more time than you anticipate because you never know what could go wrong. But that being said, outside of risk management, just make sure to pad on some extra time and just don't take these numbers for canon. They're not always accurate. I feel like they're only accurate about half the time. Then here we can just see different people in my area who've completed the trail. I'm listed there, I guess. So you can remove yourself from this completed list, but just keep in mind that if you're completing trails on AllTrails, that maybe your entire name and where you live may pop up on this list. So if you care about privacy, you may want to consider removing yourself from that. Okay. So a couple more features. We can suggest edits here. We can, so if, we didn't feel like the trail map was reflective of what we actually experienced, we can do that here. We can download the route. We can send it to our Garmin device. We can also print the map. So if you don't like the mobile version, you don't have any interest in using the mobile version, you can come here if you have the premium version and actually print the map, which I know Chris Townsend has done several times. And that's a really neat little feature. You can see different things. See your little elevation gain and loss down here. If you scan that QR code, it's going to take you into the trail, which is kind of neat too. So you could bring a printed copy of the map. Maybe you go to the trailhead with some buddies. They can scan it. Anyway, kind of a neat feature I don't think everyone's aware of. And you can really change this up a bit too. Print it on some different sizes. Change the orientation. For this trail, maybe I want it this way. Portrait's probably best. Change the terrain. Let's do satellite. So really some neat, robust features here. All right, especially if you're going off grid, this may be something you want to consider in a place that you don't have electricity to necessarily recharge a mobile device, even if you download it on your mobile. Again, just risk management, you're going to want to have extra forms of you're going to want to have redundancies in place. Okay, so let me jump over to can everybody see, I know this is funny, Alan will get a kick out of this. Can everybody see this ChatGPT 4 page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So this is another feature. This is behind a paywall, but this was recently released and it was very robust. And I think for a lot of people, this would really help. Again, we're not affiliated with AllTrails and we're not affiliated with ChatGPT or OpenAI. But I pay a nominal fee for ChatGPT 4, and they recently added this robust AllTrails plugin, which I don't think many people are talking about. And again, this is kind of neat. I mentioned dog-friendly trails earlier, but you see these prompts down here. You can put in a prompt. You could say something like, show me 3 5-mile trails in Idaho that are dog, what can I even spell, friendly. There we go. So again, this isn't necessarily AllTrails. This is ChatGPT 4, but the AllTrails plugin is just very robust. And the cool thing is if you pay the nominal fee for ChatGPT 4, you can actually get around paying for a lot of the features that AllTrails Pro has. So it's kind of interesting. But here we go. This is just my example. Show me 3 5-mile trails in Idaho that are dog friendly. So let's see how well it does. But basically with this tool, they're looking at all the trails on AllTrails and they're just really curating the data well to give you exactly what you're looking for, which you can't necessarily do with the AllTrails search bar. So here we go. We have Cervidae Peak. It's in Idaho, Lucky Peak State Park. Here we go, 4.4 miles. It hits the criteria and dog friendly. Again, we're going to want to double check if that really is dog friendly. But here we go. Here's another 4.5 mile trek. And all these trails we're getting are moderate. Let's see, moderate, easy, and hard. But maybe I'm a real beginner. So I can say, revise and show me only easy trails. Oh gosh, here we go. So here we go. Now it's curating 5 trails that are all easy, dog friendly, and they are all less than 5 miles. So on my next trip to Idaho, and gosh, maybe just 30 seconds, 60 seconds, I've curated maybe my 3 trails for a nice Saturday, Sunday. So a really robust tool. Again, this is stuck behind a paywall for ChatGPT 4. But I have a feeling in the foreseeable future, this will be a free tool. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Has anybody played around with this tool before? No? Okay.
It looks like you have a question in the chat. How would you search for good views?
Oh, here we go. Thank you. I didn't see that. Does this also have camping features? I see an activity filter in the app for camping, but it's not returning. So how would you search for good views on the AllTrails app? On GPT-4. Interesting. Ever tried for that? vistas in. So here we go. Show me trails with great vistas in California. And Kelly, to access the plugin, you're going to have to pay somewhere between, again, it's part of ChatGPT 4, somewhere between $15 and $25 a month. I have it for other work I do, so it's not quite nominal of a fee, but okay, here we go. For trails with great vistas in California, here are 3 spectacular options within Yosemite known for breathtaking views. So here we go. So it is actually curating for great vistas. So there we go. And sorry, how does Lifeline work? Dennis, would you mind elaborating? Okay. Well, I'll give
I'm
Dennis.
wondering, I was wondering if, oh, it's on the app.
Oh, Denise. Okay, sorry. Totally butchered your name there. Okay. Let me see. I'll be honest. I've never used the Lifeline feature. Are you on your mobile, Denise? Yes. All right. I'm not sure. I've never used that feature. Most of our hikers we recommend when we go out, we use Garmin InReach devices. So my Lifeline is a Garmin InReach Mini with a little SOS button. But I'll definitely look into the Lifeline feature. And I'll follow up with you. Okay. So let's see. Where are we now? Searching for trails, exploring trail detours, customized trail. Perfect. Okay, so now we're just going to go out over. Oh, we use the Spot service. Yeah, Spot's great too. One thing about Garmin, Chris was on. He could definitely attest to this. Personally, I just like the user interface more, the actual apps. But yeah, that's definitely an option. Spot's an option. Zolio is an option. There's a couple options on the market that probably do you just fine.
Hey, Justice, did you say that the preview was a premium feature?
Yes, it is, Alan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I have a paid subscription.
Okay, there you go.
Of it.
One thing I can share after as well is I know it's been floating around, but I believe there's a deal. Again, we're not affiliates of AllTrails. We'd make no money off of it, but I believe there's a coupon floating around, something like 50% off the AllTrails premium subscription. So if anybody's interested, get your hands on that. Again, we're not an affiliate. We'd make no money off of you signing up, but if you want a discount, here you go. All right, so now we'll just jump into creating and saving a personalized trail list. Okay. So here are my lists. Hopefully this is PG-13. I'm just joking. So my list is going to be it's going to be hikes near Alan's house. I don't know. Maybe I want to go up to Round Rock sometime and say hi to Alan. I want to go hike around his house. I don't know, just to keep him on his toes. So here we're going to do our hikes near Alan's house for our exercise. So we're going to explore trails, add them to our little list. So here's my curated trails. But again, I want to go by Alan's house. So Alan is, I'm not going to say where, but Alan is in the city of Round Rock. So let's see. So I have trails listed here. Interesting. I want to hike this trail. I've never done it before. It's a nice short one. I'm going to save it. Hikes near Alan's house. These all are kind of near. Alan, thanks for playing along. I don't know. This is just where we're going with. Here we go.
It's going to take me a while. I can't see how to do that on my phone app, and I can't use my web. I can't log in on my laptop because I'm using it for this meeting. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, maybe that's something I can try to do is a little quick 30-minute or something, 45 minutes, and we can try to go over the mobile app. Try to find a way to do that another time.
It looks pretty truncated, so okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So I have my little list, hikes by Alan's house, but we're not done yet. We're going to click the list. They've popped up on a little map, which is kind of neat. So these are just my hikes in Round Rock. Here we go. Beautiful. But, you know, for whatever reason, I don't think I'll have cell phone service. It is Round Rock, so that's quite far away. So
you will have cell phone.
I know. I'm just sorry. I'm just teasing you, Alan. Round Rock's a great little city. So we're going to download the routes.
That's a fairly nice trail that you picked out right there. But and I'm on it during the summer, 5 days a week. But it's a multi-use. Just FYI.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll jump in here and maybe it'll tell us it's a multi-use. Let's see. So at the Play for All Park, view trail details. Enjoy this 5.1 mile route. It's an out and back. Now it's for road bike. It says here road biking, running, walking, wheelchairs, dog friendly, forest, kid, river, views, all that good stuff. So here we go. So this is a little route by Alan's house. We can download the route in a different kind of file format if we like. But, you know, we're going to want this for offline use. So the thing is, if you want this now on your mobile phone, you have it all set up on the computer. You're going to click into your mobile phone if you have the AllTrails Premium app. You're going to go find that little folder that says Trails by Alan's house. You're going to go into the folder, and then on each trail, there's going to be a little icon that's going to say download. So you're going to download the trail, and you're going to have it for offline use. It's as straightforward as that. Again, the only offline thing you can download here is going to be kind of a paper map or different file formats that you can load into, say, like a Garmin eTrex or something like that. But you're going to want it, now that you have this all set up, you're going to want to jump on your mobile if you have AllTrails Premium. You think, hey, there may not be cell service. I want to download those maps. That's how you're going to go about it. But since we're going to have cell service because we're in Round Rock, your free version is going to work just fine. Go into your free version, you have all these maps saved, and you're just gonna click navigate, and you're gonna have a nice hike. So this is something you can do completely for free, not behind any paywall. Okay, so here's our little personalized trail list. So things like recording our hikes, adding waypoints, photos, and notes during the hike. Let's see. One thing I want to go over here quickly is just creating a map. So say I'm going to be hiking by Alan's house. Again, this is something you can only do on the web version. You can't do this on the mobile version. We're gonna go to Round Rock. This is something that Chris with Connect and Hike does all the time to make routes. So Gail, the app won't necessarily tell you if there's cell service on the trail, but you could theoretically go through the reviews. And if there's no cell service, people are likely going to bitch and moan about it. So you might see that may be a good indicator. Okay, so here we are in Round Rock, but I want to make a map. Draw on map, upload from file. I want to draw on the map. Search or click on the map to start. So let's see, where is this city of Round Rock? Here we go. I want to hike from, taking me quite some time to scroll in here. Let's say I just want to hike. One second. Okay, I want to hike from here to there, just some arbitrary part of Round Rock, just for fun. I don't know, Alan, if you've walked this area of Round Rock, this isn't necessarily a hike, but this is just one of the robust things you can use AllTrails for. So I have a 2.5 mile hike near Meadow Lake Park. You can pick your route color. I want it to be purple just for fun. And let's see, this is going to be a double back. The great thing is I just picked 2 random points on the map. And here we are, we have our elevation gain and loss right there. So again, I love this because there's a lot of parks in the city with a lot of trails that are just not marked. And sorry, let me rephrase that. They may be marked on paper maps, or the Trail Association may have the map, but it's not going to necessarily be uploaded to AllTrails. But you might still want it on your mobile, so you can go in and mimic it. And the beautiful thing is it's going to give you an elevation gain and loss just like that. So pretty neat. Description, I'm just going to say Meadow Lake. Add notes about your route. 2.5 miles near Meadow Lake. Let's say the activities for this one. I say walking, but we have all these different options. Again, AllTrails is super robust, so we can say paddle sports, road biking, snowshoeing, skiing, off-road driving, fishing. You can really use it for a lot of things. I think a good comparison would be like Strava, which you can kind of use. I think people use for biking, but now people are using Strava for just about everything. So there we go. So walking, Meadow Lake Custom. We're going to save that. Now my map's saved. So it's 5 miles total because it's 2.5 miles one way and then 2.5 miles the other. And there's just all this beautiful data that's in this map. All we had to do is just click 2 parts of the screen. There we go. So there's my Meadow Lake map. All right, does anybody have any questions so far?
Nope. Hey.
Perfect. Great. Okay. So here we go. So we have, so this again is going to be a mobile feature. If anybody's on their mobile device, feel free to try this. Yeah, Kelly, it's just a walk. Yep, it is just a walk around, along the highway. Okay. So if you have the mobile feature, you can jump into one of our maps. You basically click start navigating. I think a lot of people get confused with the AllTrails free version. This is part of the reason why I wanted to do this, is that I just want everybody to take a second and try to open a map and just try to start navigating that trail. So you don't have to be there. It could be Arden Creek Greenbelt Trail, the Twin Falls, Sculpture Falls Trail, any trail near you. But just if you're on mobile, just take a second. If you have the free version, just try to actually jump into a trail, because I think this really stumps a lot of people, because sometimes you'll be prompted to actually pay for the premium version of AllTrails, but you don't have to. I think, Alan, just to put you in the spotlight, I think you were having that issue potentially maybe 6 months ago. Forget if it was you.
I don't know because
Okay.
well, when you say navigate, I mean I can pull up a map, I can see the elevation changes, and I can press start, but
Yeah.
it's expecting me, if I'm down here looking at a map of Purgatory Creek, but I'm sitting in Round Rock, if I press start, I'm not even, I'm not there. So it's going to find me wherever I am and show me. And as I walk around, it will show where I'm walking around, but it's not, I'm not following the route that I've got up on my phone. So
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just clarify. So when you click, I know for some people on the free version, this must not have been you, Alan, but when they go to click start, when they start trying to navigate a trail, sometimes they'll get a prompt, and the prompt will say something like, download the AllTrails Premium app, or sorry, pay for the AllTrails Premium, and then you just have to be conscientious. There's a little X button, so you can X out of that, and you can keep navigating the trail. I know for some people they download AllTrails and they complain because they don't know if they can even use it without paying that nominal fee.
yeah,
So if
that
people want to,
I had it for free for a while, but I once I started using it, I paid for the
Yeah.
subscription. So I don't think that was me.
okay. So there we go. So we have using the app to track your hike in real time. Yep. So you can just click start now, Kate. That's perfect. Okay, so we'll go over here. Again, we're not moving right now. We're not in the field, but we'll go to adding waypoints. So just for fun, I'm going to say nice vista. So on my little hike near Alan's house, I want to add a nice vista that is on this hike. I want a little prompt so people know, hey, X miles in, there's a nice vista. So here we go. Waypoints, nice vista. Latitude, longitude. Let's see if my waypoint popped up. Add new waypoint. Here we go. Put it right here on the trail in the middle. Maybe it's a nice vista by this parking lot, who knows? Or maybe this is where there's a bathroom, or I can refill my water. Maybe this is a really arduous through hike. This happens, so water refill. Refill. So right in the middle of my map, I added my water refill op as a waypoint. I just got back from hiking kind of an arduous part of the Florida Trail. Not arduous because the elevation was crazy, but arduous because water was scarce. And knowing things like that was really important, because on that trail in particular, people tend to run out of water. So having little jot notes like that along theoretical routes can really be helpful. Believe me, running out of water is not fun. It didn't happen to me because I prepped in advance, but it happens to people. And something like that, like where to refill water, if you're filtering your own water, you're not going to find that necessarily on just any old map. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to say which water is drinkable. Okay. So This is something I personally don't do, but there's a whole community feature with AllTrails now. Again, I think this was kind of taken from Strava, if I had to be honest with y'all. But you can connect your Facebook. You can kind of have like a little friends list. Again, this is based on locations. So if I go through my AllTrails community that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, I have a whole local thing. So I can follow people in my community. These are trails around Austin. You can like, comment. Again, there's a whole, almost like a Facebook-esque side to this thing, where you can kind of build your own little community just around hiking, or maybe you can follow your friends, whatever you'd like to do. Again, this could be a lot of fun if you just move to a city or you're trying to make hiking buddies, or maybe you're just, I don't know, whatever your intentions might be. Okay, perfect. So let's see who I'm following. Oh, there we go. I'm following Chris, actually. So here we go. On January 7th, Chris did a little hike, my buddy Chris, of the Hornsby Bend River Trail. There we go. 1 hour and 52 minutes, 5.9 miles. You'll like it. There we go. So Chris is one of my only active friends on AllTrails, but as you can tell, there we go. So I'm just trying to go. Okay. Sorry, somebody's mic's a bit loud. I don't know if that is. Let's check.
You were fading out, Justice.
Hey, Alan, can you hear me?
Yeah, can now.
Yeah, I have this big, huge mic in front of me here, so there we go. It's just somebody's mic is it's just loud, so I'm not sure whose it is.
Yeah, I hear a background noise that's like a constant rumble or mean noise.
I'll just mute everyone, guys. Just give me a sec here. There we go. Perfect. That's better. Okay. So now we'll just go over Q, we'll go over reporting trail issues and contributing to trail information. So this is kind of an interesting one. Go on to this trail that Chris just did. So let's say I went on that trail, something wasn't accurate, I'd like to suggest an edit. Again, these are features that you're only going to find on the desktop. And I know for a lot of people who've used the mobile version for a long time, they're going to be surprised by this. So here we go. So I have the option to edit the trail information. There's different ways to edit that. I really don't want to actually edit this route, but I want to give you guys an idea how we would. So maybe the descriptor's wrong. It says out and back, but I know it's a loop, or it's a point-to-point. Difficulty, the usage, basically how many people are doing this on that trail, the activities that the trail is used for. So this is the Hornsby Bend River Trail. Horseback riding, fishing, cross-country camping. There's some river, wildflowers, views, wildlife, waterfall, rail trail, hot spring. This all seems pretty accurate. Obstacles, if there's an obstacle on the trail, maybe it's muddy, I don't know, bridges out. You're going to want to go in and you're going to want to come down here to obstacles, and that's where you're going to want to update it. Again, we have dog information here. This says dogs unsure. Not that it matters, but I think Hornsby Bend is dog friendly. I don't know if anybody knows better than me on that, but I believe so. And then right here it says kid friendly. So anyway, that's a little idea of how you're going to do the map. Again, I guess why I want to stress this and kind of show everyone is that I know so many people are using AllTrails, but I know they're using the mobile version. But the beauty is if you're jumping on the desktop version, you just have so many ability to actually give back community, whether that's saying that a trail's washed out or there's an obstacle on trail. But really the short is that, if you edit a map and save, okay, so if you edit a map and save, what happens to the map that everyone has access to for download? So that's a great question, Alan. So if I edit the map, what happens is that there's a kind of a moderator with AllTrails, and they'll manually approve or deny my edit request. So I guess you can kind of think about it like editing a Wikipedia page or something like that. But, it's just food for thought. I mean, there's a lot of these maps out there that are not accurate on AllTrails, and maybe they're not accurate by just a couple meters, or who knows? Who knows why they're not accurate? Maybe it's dog information, like I mentioned. But the beauty is if you're using the desktop version, say 90% of the time, or when you're doing your planning or your hike recap, you can actually contribute to that side of things. Okay. But I would say, yeah, I wouldn't edit maps just for fun. I think that could really just give a moderator a hard time. Okay. So we'll jump out. And we have. So really at this point, does anybody have any questions?
The one question I have for this Sunday's hike, you can meet in one or two places. Looks like you can meet at, get back to it, at the parking lot or the picnic area, parking. Where really will we all meet when it's time?
Sorry, we have like 4 events this weekend. Are you talking about hiking for tacos on Sunday?
Yes, hiking for tacos, yes.
Yeah, sure. So you're going to want to meet at the Pecan Grove picnic area.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
this information will direct us to how to get there?
Sorry, Irma, I'm not sure which screen you're looking at.
Oh, no, so I'm saying, are the instructions on how to get there on the map? To the picnic area?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Sometimes just because it's such a central location, sometimes there's so many events that come through Austin in particular that we recommend a secondary parking lot, but that really doesn't apply this week. It's just when Austin city limits or something like that comes through, we can lose access to the parking lot. Yeah, but really that's kind of our quick intro to AllTrails class. We're a little bit ahead of time, but I really just want to open it up for kind of the next 15 minutes and just, if people have any issues they're having or any questions, feel free to just share those and we can kind of just break down some of those issues and some of those barriers.
Hi, I have a question. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I joined
sure.
late. I thought it's starting at 6:30 and I didn't know it was starting at 5:30. So my question is, I've used AllTrails for like backpacking trip and, it's like, I don't know, 30 some miles, but you don't walk all the 30 some miles. How do you stop and start the next day?
That's a great question. So on the mobile app, there's a little button that says pause.
So you just pause it.
You just pause it. And you don't have to run it in the background on your phone. You can actually close the app and it'll stay there, like where you're at. If you don't pause it though, it's really going to drain your phone. Well, I think it drains my phone's battery life. So just be conscientious of that. Okay. Especially if you're doing something like that, like an overnighter. You might be hiking in with battery packs. So every milliamp hour of battery pack powers is going to mean a lot. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, just pause it, and then when you start again, the next morning, you just start again.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Justice, this is not necessarily it. Well, it may be something directly related to AllTrails, but a lot of times our routes are in the meetup description, but there seems to be a lot of trouble sometimes to get to click on that, and there's always a problem with trying to get it to open in your mobile app. That will not happen actually, and you have to go to your mobile app and find that trail. But a lot of times the name of the trail, and I'll use last weekend as an example, at Purgatory Creek, the name of the trail on the meetup page for that hike is not the name of the trail that AllTrails has for that hike. And so it takes a lot of work to find it, because you can't, it doesn't seem like you can select what might be or may not be a custom trail and have it open on your phone directly from Meetup.
Yeah, that's fair. So one barrier we have, and this actually isn't just about AllTrails. This is also with WhatsApp. Yeah, basically one issue we have is that people are, when you try to open something in the Meetup app, it opens in Meetup's, not to use too many technical terms, but it opens in Meetup's native OS. So not many third-party apps are going to open well through kind of the Meetup descriptor. And I think that's partially because Meetup there's something going on where they're trying to track like your cookie data, I think. They want to know what pages you are. They don't want you jumping off of the Meetup landing page, I guess, to go elsewhere without them being able to track it. So there's something going on. But basically the short version is like, yeah, we have that issue with AllTrails. Like with WhatsApp, if you try to click our WhatsApp chat link, it's not going to open in the Meetup app. But if you copy that, are you able to copy that, Alan? Copy that route and then put it into your web browser? Like copy the URL?
I think maybe, I can't remember. I think what I've tried to do is copy that link and then email it to myself and open it on my phone.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work to get there.
But that's good feedback, because often on Saturdays, we can be using custom routes. Like we'll sometimes edit the routes off of AllTrails to make them more user friendly, especially if we're going to be getting like 50 to 100 people signing up for a group hike. Just to kind of better work with the infrastructure of the park, we're going to probably edit the map, like the parking location, something like that. But yeah, I can definitely look. Oh, one thing I would say, Alan, is that if you go to our Google Sheet, we have all of our hikes listed until the end of like 2024. And the AllTrails information should be posted there, like the URL, so you can click and do it there as well.
I will try that again.
Okay.
I'm an Apple guy, so I sometimes have problems with Google Docs not wanting to behave. So I may have run into that problem, but I'll try it again. I mean, I'm the first one to say it's probably user error on my part, but I just wondered if anybody else had that kind of issue.
You know, I haven't really. I've definitely had issues with Meetup, so I don't think you're alone. And I think that's kind of why if you go to our link tree, and you can find so that's like our Connect and Hike link tree that should be posted everywhere. You can find that document, that kind of takes you to the hikes and try to click the URLs. But yeah, I do understand it's tough. Where's the Google Doc list? Sorry, I'm jumping between the conversation and the chat here, so bear with me if I seem distracted, y'all. Does the app tell? The Google Doc list is should be posted in all of the meetups. I think we have like 7 or 8 meetup groups now. So for Hiking for Tacos, it should be in the description. It should say something like a link tree or find our links here or something of that nature, kind of in the meetup homepage for Hiking for Tacos. Okay, let me jump back one here. Does the app tell the terrain? I looked at one of the trails by looking at the dotted lines. It turned out to be a cement walking path in the neighborhood. Yes, so the app does tell the terrain. I can show you an example. So let's jump into this trail. Oops, that's a photo. We're gonna preview the trail. And yeah, so we have some like satellite imagery here of kind of what's going on to give you an idea. Zoom in, and I have a pretty decent idea of what the terrain looks like. So just from that, you could also use Google Earth, which is another free way if you want to get around the preview feature. You know, you're going to find something pretty robust in Google Earth. You can kind of compare and contrast. Sorry, okay, where's the Google Doc list? Do you have an umbrella link or platform? Yeah, so I'd say the umbrella link. So most of the meetups would be like, there's a Connect and Hike Phoenix meetup. There's one for Utah. There's one for Houston. There's one for Dallas. There's one for Austin. There's one for San Antonio. Basically, if you just were to search those, they'd pop up. They also have all their own Instagram pages, but we don't have all those links necessarily in one place. But that's some good feedback. People are interested. Okay. And
Hi,
sorry,
may I ask
Mindy,
another
you have
question?
a. Yeah, please.
So some organizers, combine a couple of short hikes together and make their own hike. How do you do, if you want to download all the maps, or, if I want to do that in the future, how do I do that?
And
I guess
yeah,
it's kind
sorry,
of
I
like
just
a
saw Luther's.
custom app, and then with the
Yeah.
free trails.
Okay, Mindy, let me quickly respond to Luther. Hey, Luther, actually did click the record button at the start, so this actually will be recorded, and I can upload that. Again, I'm not sure how much people get out of the recording, but I'm happy to share that. Okay. So yeah, Mindy, so you're asking about kind of like bringing multiple maps together?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd say the easiest way to do that is we're going to go over here to the create map function. And
So it has to be on the desktop map.
yeah. So actually, the best example that I can think of off the top. So if we go to the Mount Lakeway Trail, for whatever reason, I feel like Mount Lakeway has so many miles of trail that just aren't mapped. It's on AllTrails.
Hey,
So,
Justice. Neil here. Hey, one thing you can do is if you go to those trails, you go to one of the trailheads and you just walk it and walk your connection with it. And when you get back to your place, you can save that hike and it will combine those two trails together, and you name it whatever you want. And you can do that on your mobile. You don't have to do it on your desktop.
that's a great, that's a really good point. So kind of like what Neil said, if you don't necessarily need to do to to combine the maps in advance, you can do that. You can,
Just
what Neil just said, you can hike. You can hike the thing and record it, and then there you go. That's actually a great point, Neil. Yeah, so if you don't necessarily need to, do it upstream, then that's a really good choice. And actually, Chris does that sometimes.
I think that's
He'll just record a hike.
That's a really good point, but I still want to see, if I see a couple of short hikes or, I'm planning a route and I have, certain mileage in mind, how do I combine them and find all the ones that are close together and create one?
So I've actually never necessarily done that on the computer. But if I were to do that, I'd say the easiest way is I'm going to click Explore. And AllTrails actually does a pretty decent job of kind of doing that for you. So if you see the screen, you see there's like these different numbers that are kind of popping up. So say I want to do a couple hikes over here. There's a 2. It's the Violet Crown Trail. There's 2 different routes I can do. Maybe that's not a good example, but if I go here we go. Maybe I can bring some of these together. Oh, create map. So now I kind of have an idea. I'm not sure a faster way to zoom in here, y'all. Sorry, this is such a snail's pace. But say the Violet Crown Trail's kind of, gosh, this is just the slowest scrolling I've ever experienced here. Actually, here's an easier example. Okay, say I want to connect like Dick Nichols Park to the, I don't know how to say that, Lotta Branch Greenbelt. You can just draw on the map, Dick Nichols Park. I'm going to put a waypoint here. Maybe I want to go over here to Lotta Branch Greenbelt. Just made me a route, and then I want to continue it. I want to go to Legend Oaks Neighborhood Park. So you can kind of, again, like I do like Neil's idea actually that he mentioned. I do like that. Just record it. I think in practice, like to be pragmatic, I think that's what a lot of people are doing. But you can kind of look at the map. You can see those numbers. If you see like a 3 or a 9, you see there's a big cluster. Get an idea of where those are. Jump over here, make that route, and then go and save it. That could be an option.
Okay, there's a little bit of delay coming through. So did you kind of like click the origination and the destination?
Yeah. So what
maps it for you?
Yes, there you go. So I clicked Dick Nichols Park, and then I wanted to make a stop at Lotta Branch Greenbelt.
Okay.
And then I wanted to terminate. I wanted my terminus to be Legend Oaks Neighborhood Park. But then the beautiful thing is like maybe I want to take this green belt to kind of make a loop. This is super rough, but there you go, something like that. So you can really make some of your own trails, and I think the beautiful thing here is that the existing trails are pretty clear, I'd say, on the map. I'm not saying that some of these crossings won't be weird, like those might be some neighborhood crossings, or you might have to cross like an underpass or something like that. But if you feel like, gosh, you've done every trail on AllTrails, which can definitely be a feeling people have, you could kind of go in here and goof around a little bit, get some inspiration.
Cool.
Okay, sorry.
Thank
So yeah, of course.
How do you
Gail.
record a hike? How do you record your hike?
Sorry, who's asking? Was that Mindy?
No, it's Irma. People say that they record their hike. How do you do that?
Yeah, so when you have the mobile app,
Save hike.
There's basically. Sorry, Cheryl.
I always use save hike.
Yeah, I can show you my mobile phone and the camera if you guys want to see.
You say save where, on the AllTrails, or how do you record it?
On AllTrails, when I use my AllTrails, I keep it on and then I put it on. We use in Arizona airplane mode, which saves on our battery. And then I just use that with me, and I make sure that I'm on the right trail. That when I get done, I believe there's a section on there where it says save trail, and then I save it.
Yeah.
And then I can go back and look at the trails that I've done and different things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, do you have the mobile phone in front of you, by chance? The person who just
Yes.
asked about the. Okay. Yeah. So just at the bottom, like Cheryl mentioned, there's just that navigate button, and then Bob's your uncle. You're just gonna click that to kind of get the party started.
And it's pretty spot on when I've used it. You know, my question would be is how do I get it connected to my Garmin watch?
So that's a good question. Sorry. So after you've done the hike, or during, or what are you?
You should be able to sync your Garmin watch with your AllTrails. I would assume it would be on the start of the hike.
Sure. So I'll give you an example. I've never actually used my Garmin for hiking, but if you have AllTrails Premium, there's this. Cheryl, if you can see it, it just says send to Garmin. There's a little button there. If you see more on a trail, this is the only way I know of. We can click send to Garmin, and then you connect your Garmin. I'm not sure if you can connect your Garmin on your mobile, but it looks like you can connect with your Garmin here on the with AllTrails Plus.
Okay.
So let's see. I'll go through it and connect my Garmin just for fun. I remember my login. Let's see. All right, so I just sold away my rights to Garmin. Here we go, Cheryl. So send to Garmin. Let's see if it works. Route sent. Oh, this route will be available on your Garmin device after you sync it with Garmin Connect. So there we go. We got a couple steps, but I don't know. Let's see how it works. I'll have to check my watch later to see if it worked, but could be neat. It might help you save some battery life too. I don't know if that could be a strategy. I don't know. Maybe the Garmin probably uses less battery than your phone, so that could be neat.
Yeah, they say the Garmin has the back or what is it, backtrack or something like that. They say if you were to get lost, and you could always, your watch would. And then they say too, and I don't know, that your Garmin will tell you if you're off trail.
That's a good.
Yeah,
that's one feature.
Yeah, you can
sorry,
get.
Alan.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the paid or the free version, but AllTrails will also alert you. You can set whether you want a sound or something else to alert you if you get off of the route, the trail. I've used that before navigating with my phone when I was leading a hike. If I got off of the trail that I'm supposed to be on, it would alert me, and I could look and I could say, oh yeah, we needed to turn 10 feet back and head the other direction. But I wanted to ask a question about using airplane mode. Is that AllTrails you're using airplane mode in while you're hiking? and you're still able to record?
Yes, and I'm just learning, but that's what I was told when I started hiking was to use airplane mode. You can still use your AllTrails, but it saves on your battery because your phone, I was told your phone's not steady looking for a signal for Wi-Fi or whatever.
Right. Does it display anything while it's in airplane mode?
Yes, it does.
So you can look and see, you can navigate while you're in airplane mode. You can see where you are on the trail.
I believe so. I haven't tried it yet, but people that do use it say that yes, it does. It works.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Try it and see. Cellular. I mean, you have some places around here too. We could use our phones. We have service, but other times you don't have service. But if you download the map on AllTrails, I believe one of the guides was still using her AllTrails without service.
Yeah,
You have to download the map before you go, because once we got there, I tried to download the map and I couldn't download it. I had no service.
yeah, there's places like that. Reimer's Ranch is one of those.
Okay.
And Cheryl, you're in Arizona, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess if you're going almost, is there any service in like the Grand Canyon? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Probably. I'm doing the North Rim in a few weeks, and we're anticipating almost no cell service. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't been up there. I'm on the south end. Would be down Tucson, Mesa area.
Oh, okay. Not a lot of service. Yeah.
Kind of all depends where you go, but there's a lot of trails. So learning how to use this AllTrails and the Garmin watch and things are be very nice to have.
Definitely. Okay, and just I'd say some. Let's see. I'm just looking over the kind of the outline I wrote up here. Yeah, I'd kind of say the last thing is just I say the biggest issue I hear with AllTrails, it sounds kind of funny, or just kind of the biggest user error, is that after the hikes, and I mean, I'm super guilty of it, but I sometimes forget to click finish when I finished my hike. I think a lot of people, that'll happen to them. Like they'll finish a hike, they'll go to a coffee shop, and then it'll still be recording, and it'll kind of ruin the whole recording in a sense. But the beautiful thing is you can go on the computer and you can edit the recording when you get home. So if you're very meticulous and you want all that data collected well, you can always edit that on the computer afterward. Okay, do we have any other questions, or that's pretty much everything I got, y'all. This is pretty much AllTrails in a nutshell. I guess I can quickly go through the actually, one last thing I'll just touch on is just directions to a trailhead, because I know that is something we can struggle with at times. So here's the Hornsby Bend River Trail. If I look into it, here we go. Hornsby Bend Ecological Research Area. I want to figure out how to get there. I click directions. That's where I live. I live in South Congress, Austin. And it's going to tell me exactly where the trailhead is. So, or the street address is what I'm trying to say. So here's the street address, 10522 Platt Lane, but that isn't necessarily where the trail, I mean, this is where the trail starts. The trail starts right here. But in other cases, to actually find the mouth of the trail, I'm not going to get that through just clicking directions on AllTrails. I'm going to actually have to do something kind of, I'm clicking a bunch of buttons now. Let's see, can I go back? Can I get back to where this was? Give me a sec. To actually find the trailhead, Okay, I lost it. Let me get it back. I'll pull up a different trail. Oh man. View trail details. Here we go. So again, if I were to click directions, I'm going to get the Google Maps address, but to actually find out where it is on my phone, what I can actually do is click that navigate button before I actually even leave to get to the trail. You can click navigate, and navigate's going to show you where the trailhead is. Another way to find the trailhead is going to be to just click into the map, because you can see, like, to get to this might not be a great example either, but sometimes the trailhead and the parking lot are going to be two different areas. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. So you're going to have to keep that in mind. I know some of our hikers in the Austin area struggle with that. When the trailhead and the parking lot are two different areas, or the parking lot is just so huge, maybe there's several trailheads. So to double check that trailhead, you're just going to want to click in. You can click navigate on your phone, which I find is always a great thing to do, because then you can actually use kind of the compass feature. You can see which way you're pointed, and then you can kind of walk towards the trailhead that way. Okay, Kate, do you have a team of helpers, or do you lead? Oh, we have a bunch. Including Alan. There you go, Alan. There's your shout out. But yeah, well, that's pretty much everything I have. Really, if you have any more questions for me, this is our first time running this. I appreciate your patience, and if you have any feedback, please send it to me, because again, our goal is just to do this for free, get people outside, get them engaged, get them hiking, get them camping, and navigation apps are something that almost everybody needs. So helping people get familiar is important to us.
Justice.
Thank you, Justice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good,
certainly.
good presentation.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody. All right, have a great night.
Hey.
I'll share the recording everywhere. Great. Cheers and good night, y'all.
Night.
Night.